We're back in Lagos. It's time now for stories that are trending now. And Olamide is standing by to bring us up to speed. Good morning, Olamide.
Good morning, team. How are you doing today?
Good morning to you.
We're ready. I'm sure a lot of stories are popping up on social media.
I've got some juicy gossip for you guys as usual. I'm going to take it away. Good morning, Nigeria. I like to say that TVC has a finger on the pulse and our eyes on the streets. And if it's a trending story, we're going to bring it on here and dissect it as best and as interestingly as we can. In our first story, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has released the 2025 UTME results, and the numbers are causing serious concern. Now, out of nearly 2 million candidates who sat for this exam, over 1.5 million scored below 200. That's more than 76% of all test takers. On the flip side, only 4,700 students scored above 320, while around 7,600 landed between 300 and 319. Now, JAMB hasn't given clear reasons for the low performance, but they said that they conducted the exams as rigorously and as fair as possible. The board also revealed that 40,200 underage students were allowed to sit for this exam due to their exceptional abilities, but only 467 of them, just over 1%, actually met the benchmark. These results have, of course, sparked fresh debate about the state of Nigeria's education system. And many people are asking, are students truly prepared for higher education, or is the system letting them down? Now, I gotta say, I scored very high when I took my JAMB, but this is very interesting. We have to ask ourselves, is it that the priorities of Nigerian students are changing? Are they going into more different and more diverse career trajectories, and thus they don't prioritize formal education as they once did? Or on the other hand, are Nigerian youth so focused on surviving and entering the workforce and providing for themselves on a day-to-day that formal education just doesn't take priority like it used to? This is actually very, very concerning. I'm going to take 4 tweets on this because you guys had a lot to say. Abubakar Lukman says, every year the scores drop and nothing changes. Teachers are underpaid, schools are underfunded, students are unmotivated due to lack of employment. What do we really expect? We'll take another tweet. Society says, Oma wahala o, it's later that you guys will realize. These children are dancing on TikTok, doing challenges instead of facing their books. Parents have gotten lazy. Abidemi says, how will a child that woke up at 4:30 a.m. to travel for miles to get to a center for 6 a.m. not be distraught enough to fail an exam that is a combination of 4 subjects in one day? And finally, Emelobe says, when these students look at their parents, will they admire going to school, graduating and getting a job? Let's be truthful. There is nothing encouraging about going to school anymore in Nigeria. Nothing. I read a New York Times article that said that the things that are going to be viable and tangible career paths in 50 years, we can't even conceive them right now. So who knows where the younger generation is headed. I love how I said that like I'm not part of them. In our next story, the sister of Tamilore Odunsi, a 23-year-old British-Nigerian nursing student who was tragically stabbed to death in Texas, has shared the emotional moment that she accepted her sister's nursing pin at her graduation on her behalf. Now, Tamilore had been counting down to her big day on TikTok, and she was really excited to become a nurse from all indication. But just days before her ceremony, she was killed by her 40-year-old flatmate, Chester Lamar Grant, during a reported argument over pet cats. Can you imagine that? Now, after he stabbed Odunsi, her roommate tried to end his own life by stabbing himself 6 times, including once in his neck. Now, her family is still grieving, and they chose to honor her dreams by letting her sister walk the stage in her place. And they're making sure that her light was not forgotten. I think moments like this really remind us that when someone is killed, it's not just a death, a future, a life has been tragically cut short. A family is experiencing serious loss. I'm going to take 1 tweet on this. It's such a shame. May her soul rest in perfect peace. Akbamu says, this is such a heartbreaking story. May her memory live on through her sister's tribute. Very interesting. Team, which of these stories have piqued your interest? I'm worried for the younger generation. I'm worried that our JAMB scores are so low. What is this indicative of? What do you think? Why is this happening?
When you live in a country that presents multifaceted problems, things like this will happen. We are looking at the failure of parenting. We are looking at the failure of a generation to see education as something that is so important for their future. And we are seeing the reflection on the results that are coming out. Education is not given the kind of priority that it deserves. So the education system is populated by people that are not happy. There is no morale boosting anything in the education sector, and that is what we're seeing. Parents are more interested now in making money. Those things that my parents used to tell me concerning my future, my education and all that, parents of nowadays are not doing it to their children.
I'm curious, what would you say is the marked difference between how your generation learned and how the younger generation is now assimilating?
Every day I come back from school, my mother will want to do my homework with me. My mother will want to see my scores for the day. And if my scores are low, I have the wiping of my life that day. You understand? We don't have that going on now. Everybody is on TikTok, on this, on that, on that. There are so many distractions. And unfortunately, the education system itself is not being funded the way it should. So it's affecting learning, it's affecting infrastructure, and a whole lot. So this is the result of that failure. And for the lady that lost her life, the gentleman that is guilty of it has serious mental issues. Thank God he didn't die after stabbing himself 6 times, so he can dance to the music of what he has done.
All right, we'll pick it up from that story of Tamilore. I hope that her soul finds rest, and that her dream now lives through her sister. I love the way the sister walked gately to go collect that plaque on behalf of her late sister. It was so beautiful to see. Unfortunately, her elder sister's life was cut short, and I hope that her memory will be remembered for quite some time. And I hope that the guy who killed her will face the full wrath of the law. Talking about education, obviously there is a shift. And it's high time we wake up and smell the coffee, because a lot of persons are still not facing this reality of what the times we are in is about. When it comes to education right now, a lot of people no longer want to pay attention to education. All they want is how to make money and make money quickly. That's why they are falling into scams, and we're seeing a lot of people dancing naked on social media, all because they feel it will give them the views and they'll get the numbers. And how have we as a country really upheld the structures of education? We see some part, we have a huge number of out-of-school children. Those who even want to go to school cannot stay in school because of insecurity issues. It's quite a complex case. And then those who are, you hear some lecturers saying that students no longer want to pay attention. They just want to get the certificate and move on. How we need to revitalize our education will be a long walk to freedom.
And Olamide, I'm really happy you spoke about this JAMB story, because I saw it and I was so disappointed. I'm like, what is happening? And as the Gen Zs that we are, we see it on TikTok. These people are actually on TikTok dancing. And it's so sad that we're now in an era where everybody believes that I can get up and be an influencer. I don't need to go to school to be an influencer. So they don't really take education seriously. We know that there are so many factors, but let's speak about the factors of, even I say a lot of women have given birth, but they are not mothers, because to be a mother, it takes something totally different. Some of these parents do not even ensure their children are learning. Once there's this particular person on TikTok, you know, he makes money from TikTok. Trust me, I'm telling you, I don't even think the parents are talking about schooling anymore, but they forget that education is so pivotal. Like, we cannot overemphasize the power of education. So I think that we really need to do a lot about this, our youth we see on TikTok. I open TikTok every day. Even if you see the captions that these little children put up, I'm like, even me that's a small girl, I cannot put that caption. It's just really sad, and we need to understand that education is key and we really need to prioritize it. And And also for Tamilore, the girl that passed away, I say it all the time. When I wake up every morning, Olamide, what I tell God is, when it's just about time to my glory, let sickness or death not take me away.
Amen.
Because this particular girl's story is so sad. Like, I have cried several times about her story and I don't even want to speak about it anymore. I just hope that her soul will rest in peace.
Yeah, it is heart-wrenching. When I saw the story over the weekend, you know, I went to her TikTok and I saw that, you know, she was full of life. She was always posting a journey, you know, school, different from what, you know, the younger generations are doing now, just having to post, you know, innuendos, nudities and all of that. She was constantly updating us about, you know, a nursing program and all of that, and then her life was cut short. My condolences to her family, and we hope that this, you know, the person who killed her, you know, faced the music. Talk about JAMB. So many people, all of us, you know, we feel this generation of, you know, this up-and-coming generation, parenting, father and mother, they've all gone out to, you know, fend for what they will eat or anything. Some even have more problems. By the time they come back, you have children who are in school from morning till later in the evening. Yeah. And then they don't even have time to even play with their father, to even see their mother. They just went to go to bed, and then the following day, they repeat the same thing. Now, schools are also failing in terms of what kind of syllabus are they using? What is the curriculum? We even have the younger ones who are allowed, about 1% of them, 40,000 of them who are allowed to, you know, sit this exam. They are not even exceptionally promising. They call them exceptional children, but they're not exceptionally promising. And it begs the question, is JAMB asking the question, or the question that I wrote, is JAMB testing what was taught or what should have been taught?
Very interesting. Thank you, team. But perhaps it's time for us to find a compromise and reconceptualize what we view as education for this younger generation. In our next story, yet again, a disturbing video of police brutalities making the rounds online. Now, this time it shows a young Nigerian man being assaulted by officers allegedly in Owerri. Now, this footage has, of course, reignited anger over what many say has become a daily reality in our country. Despite past protests and promises of reform, cases like this highlight just how widespread and normalized police violence still is across Nigeria. Well, the police aren't just there to make arrests and enforce law. I genuinely believe that they are to be sensitive to the political and cultural climate that we are living in. We are living in inflammatory times. Just yesterday, we saw several protests about several things ongoing in the country. And so for this to be taking place while the youths are already inflamed and upset and angry and ready to go to the streets, that is, it's bad policing, if you ask me. I'm going to take a tweet on this, 2 tweets on this. Let's see what people have to say. Sui says, bullies, that is what they are. Police is your friend, my foot. We'll take 2 more tweets. This user says that he knows the policeman. He says, I know that policeman. He's always doing this along Airport Road and Yaradua Drive in Owerri. His cup will soon be full. We'll take 1 more tweet. TUF says, I know that policeman. This is Owerri Airport Road. I have had similar encounters with him before at this same spot. This man took my cap and threw it on the ground after seeing that he could not extort me. Just yesterday, Senator Irete Kingibe came and said, all the youth do is complain online. A good leader would look at these complaints, go to that station, go to that checkpoint and put this man in order. But what do I know? In our next story in entertainment news, Grammy-winning Nigerian artist Burna Boy, aka Damni Ogulu, aka Burna Boy, is taking his influence off the stage and onto the pitch. He's announced plans to sign 5 rising football talents from underprivileged communities to his Burna Boy Academy. This is a bold move that is blending sports with opportunity and social impact. But in an unexpected twist, Burna is bringing controversial street artist Portable on board to help support his initiative and scout local footballers. Take a look at this video.
Those my area boys in Ogun State. Daddy Burna want to sign 5 footballers to his academy. Academy Nation. Nya akowomi, agbowomi, agbowori, akebomi. Burna Boy Academy. Owo wanle. Na to go buy shoe and sauce. What are me sorry o? For me to Burna.
Whenever I call Portable Nigeria's sweetheart, Veronica doesn't have it at all. But he is Nigeria's sweetheart. This project by Burna Boy aims to spotlight raw talent and give overlooked young players a shot at greatness. And it shows Burna's growing interest in grassroots empowerment just beyond the music that he makes for us. I think that this is cultural brokerage at its finest. Who better to enter the trenches and scout local talent than the original trench boy himself? He's going to be able to connect with those youth on a level that you and I might not be able to. And I think this is great cultural brokerage, like I said. I'm going to take one tweet on this. Awe says, Portable making big financial moves proves that not everyone born in the trenches will remain poor. It's not about where you start, it's what you do with your journey. My final story. Plastic surgery is, of course, no longer taboo in Nigeria, and Nollywood star Uche Ogbodo is the latest to join this trend. The actress has gone viral after sharing a post-surgery recovery video on Instagram, revealing that she recently had a Brazilian butt lift and a tummy tuck. Of course, her candid post has been met with mixed reactions online, and several people are now questioning whether body enhancements are becoming a bit too normalized in the entertainment industry. Uche Ogbodo now joins a growing list of Nigerian celebrities who have chosen to go under the knife to alter their looks, raising fresh conversations about beauty standards, body image, and self-conversations. Before I take some tweets and hand over to my team, I'd like you guys to please chime in with the hashtag TrendingNowTVC on any social media platform. I promise you we are listening. I'm not going to give up hope. You guys will chime in one day. I'm going to take 2 tweets on this. Sweet Angel says, my simple question is, can't these BBL queens keep their BBLs in private? Like, must everything be in public view? They should drop info for those who want to do reductions. And Bonek says, when this madness started some years back, it was done in secret. How it got widely accepted and normalized like this is beyond me. I said it last week, but we didn't have time to discuss this, team. That while we say that these things are taboo and young girls shouldn't be engaging in this, we reward them. It is cultural and social capital. They get better relationships, better jobs. Their prospects in society and community increase when they get these surgeries. So on one hand, we're condemning it, but it's clearly they're reaping rewards from this.
Yeah, all you said is true for the positive side, but for the negative side, a lot of people have destroyed their bodies. Some have died in the process. You know, so it's neither here nor there. The argument is always, it's my body, I can do whatever I want to do with it. But is it truly or really your body, if you want to look at it from the other side? The story that really interests me is that of Burna Boy. He's not only using his popularity as a musician, he's using his international influence, and he's going to use it to help boys from the inner city. Boys from the inner city. Those 5 guys, I just pray that this project works, because if it does, he's going to expand it, and more children will have opportunities through him. He's also stamping his name in history as somebody that made money out of music and invested in sports. I really like what's going on there. Mr. Policeman, I think your days have come to its zenith. Now they have you everywhere on social media, and I believe something will be done to you.
All right. So let me begin with Uche Ogbodo. It's because we are giving them attention. That's why they will keep bringing it on social media. Last week we spoke about Angela Okore. Here we are talking about someone else that is doing BBL. The person that didn't do BBL, are we talking about them? We're not necessarily talking about those ladies who are not doing that and are doing great work, but we're talking about these people. That is why they will keep doing it and putting it on social media. For police brutality, let's remember 2020. A lot of us are still reeling from the impact of that. And I think that police being your friend should be that lesson that is, you know, that slogan rather, that we really put out there. I mean, that display is obviously not police being the friend of that young man that was being harassed. I think that the Inspector General of Police needs to do more, speaking with his people to understand how best to relate with Nigerians so that we can have that seamless relationship and move the country forward. Because when it comes to security issues, you need the people just as the people need you. So we must enhance our relationship. And for Burna Boy, kudos to you.
Well, I'm so happy and proud of Burna Boy. You know that he's one of my favorite musicians in Africa, you know, the African giant. And I love the fact that he's trying to give back through this. And using Portable Olamide, that was the best person he could use. Because Portable is the one that will get to the people in the grassroots. I just hope that these boys that they're picking will be amazing players, and he's going to change their lives, of course, and they are going to come back and impact Nigerian positively. These are the positive things Nigerian youths are doing. So we definitely need to give Burna Boy all the accolades for this. And his mom is doing a fantastic job. Man, his manager, we already know, so we know what to expect. And then moving forward, the story about the BBL, Olamide, I think is me, you, Veronica, and 10 others that have not done our body in this Lagos. Because
and the Tom and
how are you sure I've not done my
No. Veronica's body is perfect. She doesn't even need to touch it. But anyway, I don't want to say it's sad because it's her body, but as long as the body is not like Angela or Corazon, then it's fine. Police brutality. You know, I feel like it's something that we need to hammer on, and the police is our friend at the end of the day. So that man that is doing that thing, they should catch him and lock him up.
So we talk about reforms, police reform. We don't know whether we are reforming the police or reforming the image or reforming the country or the culture. So it's just one thing. When we are trying to get better at something, you still find the bad eggs among them. So it's a constant work. It's a constant thing that we need to do so that we'll remove the weed from the chaff at the end of the day, so that we don't have people that will be, you know, painting the country bad. And when we see something, we should continuously say something. Those of us who are saying, yeah, it's my body, I can do anything with it. At the end of the day, even our souls don't belong to us. Our bodies don't belong to us. We will just leave this body one of these days, and then we get into the grave, and it's just for
And will they recognize you at the gates of heaven?
No, God will say,
well, God knows.
Are you the one?
So it's for the termites. And the law of gravity will always take effect, no matter what. You want everything to stand up. Whatever goes up must surely do what?
Come down.
Ibrahim,
may it not come down for me in the mighty name of Jesus.
We'll have to draw the curtains on the program.
If you know,
right
you know.
Here.
I don't want to know this particular one.
Anyway, Olamide, thank you for those stories. Well, this is how we have to draw the curtains on the program for today. Let's let you know that the views and reactions from all our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Up next is Your View, and afterwards this morning with Iyori Folarin. Do stay safe. Bye for now.